It's like 2 o'clock in the studio. Backed up on the leaks, man. My shit crashed, but I'm back at you niggas, though. You know, I guess this 55,000.
Take it from there. Yes. So the purpose of the meeting today is basically to review the business. As we all know, got legalized, the city wrote the ordinance, and basically we're just following the ordinance of the city. And the review is just of the business, you know, a little bit about our background, a little bit about the business plan. And regardless if you're pro or con, we like to kind of save it to the end and just kind of get through what we have to get through today. So my name is Ulysses. I'm the president of the company. Joined today with my partner, Lori Lucienne. She's the CEO of the company. She's an attorney out of Boston, and she'll be doing most of the speaking today. So I'll pass it right over to Lori.
Hello, thank you again for coming on this beautiful Friday evening. Okay, so you kind of gave your So I'm going to briefly talk about who we are, talk about our company mission, give you a little bit of information about our economic empowerment certificate status, and just give you a brief overview of our company. So Major Bloom is a unique business in the sense that we have tried to marry philanthropy with business together. Because I think we're living in a time where the old concepts of being overly aggressive with business is just greedy. It's over. And so it's about how we combine the heart space with this business. So we seek to establish ourselves as a leader in the industry by encouraging mindfulness and perseverance. And we also intend to provide premium grade and sustainably grown cannabis. And it's really important to us that the product that we provide is very healthy, that it's clean, because we have heard of some less than great situations. So like I said, I'm the CEO. I am originally from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I moved to America in 2002 when I was 15 to go to school. In October, it was very cold. That's what I realized about this area. I then went on to UMass Amherst to become a biologist and kinesiologist. Did not want to practice science anymore, and then I went into law school. From law school, worked at a big law firm practicing corporate healthcare law, and decided to merge into cannabis law permanently with my partner here, Ulysses. And Ulysses, he has a colorful background. He has an MBA. He started off in business working in a power washing company and helping his parents out in the church. So he's also a good guy. Tyrone Gomes is our cultivator. He's been in the industry for about 10 years. He started off working for the number 3 dispensary in California and broke off and built his own cultivation facility. And Valentin Fabashevic, it's like my favorite name to say. He has a BS in computer engineering, but has found a way to become a leader in operations. So I think his ability to understand systems really helps him understand how to manage inventories and things of that sort. So that's our team, our core team. As I mentioned before, something called an Economic Empowerment Certificate from the Cannabis Control Commission, which is the organization that oversees registration of marijuana licensing. What this certification basically means is that the state has recognized our company as one who has committed to economically empowering communities that have been devastated by the disproportionate enforcement of marijuana laws in this country. So we as a company have committed to helping these companies, helping these towns in those areas revitalize, not just the areas, but also the individuals from it. And so this is basically some of the requirements that we had to meet. I won't spend too much time boring with it, but basically our company stands for, like I mentioned, social and economic empowerment, while combining a business mindset to it as well. We want to ensure that all of our clients understand that our products are all going to be pesticide-free, sustainably grown methodologies. We're going to be fully transparent, providing information online about, coupons and product availability based on what clients have requested. So we intend to redevelop in partnership with Derek, who is really, his property is really close to here, 76 Mulberry Street. Our our business model is one that is vertically integrated, where we intend to cultivate, manufacture, and retail. Our cultivation facility will not be here. It'll be in another city. Hopefully, it'll be Attleboro. We're going through the process right now. We do intend to manufacture in Worcester and also hopefully retail on Mulberry Street as well. This is the location. You're probably familiar with it since it's really across the street. It's about a little under 5,000 square feet total. We're going to use about 2,200 square feet of it for retail space. It's very convenient. It's close to the highway in a commercial space, which makes it suitable. We were just talking about you. Your ears are ringing. So some of the benefits of having a cannabis shop in your area, which most people aren't aware of, is that it causes crimes to be reduced, and people are always shocked by that fact. The reason why that is marijuana companies have to have security that's equivalent to a bank, if not worse. So you have to have cameras, motion sensors. It's like you have to be James Bond to break into these shops. So as a result of that, it really causes the neighboring areas to become very safe because no one wants to rob someplace where they're going to easily get caught. And also they keep cameras everywhere so everyone knows that you'll be caught on camera if you attempt to do anything. Also, property values in Colorado have been shown to increase by 8.4% in places around dispensaries. We also intend to use a lot of clean energy in our products. My partner in the US. And so we've actually been contemplating our plan for bringing in solar in all of the projects that we do. So we are currently compliant with the zoning requirements for Worcester, namely that we are 500 feet away from a public or private school, daycare center, library, or park, and also greater than 500 feet from another marijuana storefront retailer, which is one of the requirements for the zoning in Worcester. In addition, all aspects of our business will be conducted indoors. I know that the city does not like things to be movable, so that is when we promise everything's to be taken indoors. A slight overview of our security measures. Because it is our security measures, we're not going to give you the details because we don't know who's looking. Right? I know that you guys are all getting here. But so our security company, we've hired the Hilder Group. The Hilder Group, what makes this team really interesting is this guy who's smirking. He is not only an ex-Marine, but he's also now an attorney. He's graduated from law school this weekend. So and he's also taken a course that I taught called marijuana law. So his understanding of the legislation and the regulations required for a security company is one of the most superior I've seen in this industry. And part of the thing, what he did, he fought in, I believe, Afghanistan, and his job was to identify risks for the snipers. So he's one of the most qualified individuals to do this. So some of the things that we're going to do to ensure that we maintain safety and prevent diversion, meaning that the plant will be taken into the non-regulated market. We're going to background check all of our employees as required by the state. So we're going to ensure that they have not committed any fraudulent type of crimes. We're going to have continuous education for our employees. People ask me, like, are you going to teach them not to steal? They should know that. But it doesn't hurt to remind somebody. Don't take that if it's not yours. So that we're going to keep going with these trainings. We're also, like I mentioned, have the director of security, which is the Hilder Group. All of our customers are going to be 21 plus and ID'd heavily. In fact, when you enter one of our locations, you'll have to go through a room that's blocked off from the main area. You will not be permitted to access the main area until you've been ID'd and the identification has been verified. And all of our partners as well have been and will be background checked to ensure that we have not committed crimes that block us from operating in this industry. And we're also going to develop a relationship with the community. I think that the more connected you are with individuals who are around, they'll keep an eye out for you. The community can become the woman on the porch who knows what's going on in the neighborhood. So we're going to have, just to summarize, for security diversion, we're going to train our employees, we're going to have background checks, we're going to have top-of-the-line security access points, and all the things that you've seen in the James Bond movie. I keep referencing that because that's what I feel when I look at my plan. So a lot of things that people always worry about is diverting to those who are 21 years old and under. Our step is really, again, to ID our customers, train our staff, because I know some individuals, like my sister, looks just like me, but she might be underage. So how can we ensure that siblings aren't passing for other? These are things that we're going to actually teach our security personnel about. And since we've all been underage, we know we've all kind of attempted something at some point. So we're going to ensure that, only those who are legally permitted will access our locations. We're also going to have limited access areas in our property where only individuals who are required to carry out the duties and obligations of that particular activity will have access to it. So if you don't need to be in our safe, then you will not have access to the safe. Only specific people will have access to that, to the security room and things of that sort. We're also going to have our website up that's going to be limited to 21 years old, but we're also going to provide a lot of information on there about safety and current information about our store. Because again, one of the things we mentioned about is we really want to be transparent and we want to feel like part of the community. And the more information we can have and exchange it, the more we can begin to feel like Laser Bloom is part of this community. We will not commit nuisance, or else our plan is to endeavor to mitigate all the potential for nuisance that can arise. So in terms of noise, it's going to be sequestered to within the building because we're not going to be operating outside. Everything's going to be within closed doors. We're going to ensure that it's a nice place and beautified. It's not going to be a broken down facility. Odors are going to be mitigated. If we do engage in product manufacturing there, we're going to include HVAC systems, carbon filters, just the top of the line systems that are really going to ensure that any smoke produced is contained and not wafting out into the air. Though that would be amazing to me, but I do know a lot of people don't appreciate the aroma as much as I do. Okay, the next step, traffic and parking. So we are currently negotiating with the city to obtain parking spots for our clients. We're also going to have appointment options, so you can make your appointment ahead of time. Also, as I mentioned, we are an economic empowerment certificate holder. What that means is we get access. Massachusetts is contemplating giving delivery licenses for the next 2 years to economic empowerment certificate holders. That puts us in a very unique position where we can actually engage in those licenses because we have that certificate. So one of our plans is to really start to deliver more, and that goes in with what America's doing. Most people don't want to leave their homes anyway. So we'll help them with that design. Community impact. As I mentioned, the economic empowerment certificate requires us, but it's not really a requirement because we would have done it anyways. But to really give back to communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the aggressive enforcement of marijuana law. So one of the impacts that occurred is these places have faced significant unemployment. So can you imagine somebody leaving, going to jail, and then they no longer have their qualifications because they've been slapped with like probation or just a felon? They can't get real work. So how do we help these individuals? And beyond them, those individuals they left behind in those areas of disproportionate impact, how do we ensure that we empower them with information that they can utilize to get employment? So we're going to have workshops available where we teach resume writing, cover letter writing. We're going to have we're going to be hiring someone called our Economic Boom Initiative Director. I know it's a mouthful, but the Economic Boom Initiative is what we call our direct impact plan, and we're going to hire someone specifically to oversee that aspect of our business. And so they're going to be coming up. This is just the bones. When this individual comes in, her job or his job is going to really do some research to figure out what it is that we actually need and what is the best way for us to deliver those services to the municipality. But until we get that individual, what we've contemplated as a group is also having business development workshops. I operate a consulting company that helps startups, so one of the things we're going to do is provide some workshops where we show up and help individuals start their LLCs, give them advice as to what best structure to choose and things of that sort. We're also going to foster mentorship. One of the things that I would like to see, and I know that we have some of the local business owners here, I would like for us to get together periodically to talk about how we can better serve those who've been disproportionately impacted. What are we doing? How can we mentor them? Not beyond that. Are you willing to take it on a mentee? If not, it's okay. I won't force you. But I really think it's important for business owners currently to have at least one person that you're mentoring and showing the ropes. So that's one of the things that we want to incorporate in Greenlight, but also get local business owners to come on board and help us accomplish. one of the major reasons why municipalities are flocking to marijuana is that there is money involved, right? So every company is required to give a 3%, well, every municipality is permitted to institute a 3% municipal tax. And Worcester is intelligent, they've taken advantage of that. So you will be getting 3% of our rev. You will also be getting 3% of our annual, that's in addition, it's called a direct impact fee. And that's supposed to help Worcester pay for the cost of having us operate within this municipality. So all of those funds will be available through the legislature. What I usually tell local communities that this money is given with or without you knowing how it's being used. If you have a desire as to how you want this cannabis money to be used, and I will stand with you and I will show up to meetings and talk to the towns with you and say, look, this is what they want. This is how I want you to use it. I personally like education and I like sports. So that's what I want to advocate for, but I know that's because that's selfish of me. You might not want the kids to learn. So you might want something else. So I'm committing to advocating on your behalf to get this money to go where you want it to go. I don't want it to be like, oh, this marijuana money came in, but I don't see my potholes being fixed. My cousin still can't read, so I want to make sure that those funds are placed where they are. We are also volunteering 150 man hours, and again, that's going to be decided by the Economic Bloom Initiative Director. Where to allocate those services, he or she's gonna do the research to figure out how to best serve. Now that I've bored you to death, do you have any questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm the owner here, and when Ulysses came to me and told me what he was planning, I just went up down the street and talked to Boston business owners, and on behalf of them, I just want to thank you for choosing the Canal District to open your business. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I truly appreciate that. And Ulysses told me some of the work.
I know you had a lot of other options, but choose us. It really means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes,
I have a few questions. My name is Robert. I own the head shop here factory across the street. The 150 man-woman hours, is that going to be on a constant level? Or is that one time?
It's yearly. We're going to keep repeating it. But and again, it's going to expand or according to what is needed. It may be that the 150 man hours is not the best place that like Worcester's might need better use of funding, so we'll put it into something else. But we're really going to do a lot of research to figure out what the needs are. Because I know sometimes, I showed you what my plan was, but this may not be what you want. So, but we've done a lot to talk to people to figure out a plan that's baseline that will meet most people's needs. But I know there are some specific nuanced things that I can come in here that I might not even thought of. So that's what the Economic Move Initiative Director is going to do.
To be continued.
To TBD. But we're here to.
I have a couple more things.
No, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
The security in the doorway when somebody walks in. What type of technology are you using to make sure that it's not just a person at the door reading an ID? Where are you in that? This being a new field.
So there's several layers to this thing that needs to happen. You have to have tech. You also have to have human beings. I know the robots think they're smarter than us. Not yet. You still need humans. So there's a lot. So our security team is heavily trained. They're ex-military personnel, and so they developed and crafting programs on how to train our employees about face detection, talking to someone to see if they're lying. We're also going to have the technology that's available where you swipe and it tells you whether it's authentic, that it's authentic, and it's also going to be teaching the person cues and how to read. You know that there's a lot of research shows about facial recognition between races and things like that, where it's easy, like for a person who's of a different race, it's easy for them to let someone else go through. Not if you're trained. So that's what we're going to try to incorporate in our programs, things to really allow people to not allow little sisters to go through. Because, not to snitch on myself, I was 21 once, less than 21 months. So we know what can be done. Yeah.
And then your security team that you'd be working with, that's on the constant level. That's not just to get you going and
Oh, no.
thank you very much for your services. This is someone that you'll employ.
We'll employ, and we're also, he was talking with the chief of police. We are, as we move through the process, we are going to be spending a lot of time talking to the chief of police and trying to come up with a security plan that fits his understanding. So we actually went through the process in Attleboro. We had 4 hour-and-a-half meetings. Do I feel like I'm excited about it? It was actually really exciting. With the police, ensuring that our plan was up to par. Because it's one thing that to know generally, but every city and town has their own nuances. Like they have this one kid who just kept going into their neighborhood, and I think they were like taking bicycles. That's a unique crime. So my point is there are places where unique things occur, and only the chief of police will be able to tell you what to look out for. So this is our plan created with them, but as we move through special permitting, we're going to sit down with fire, we're sitting down with police and everyone required to ensure that not only that our product is safe, but I want to make sure that everyone here feels safe.
Very good. Just 2 more.
No, keep them coming.
All right. This building that you're looking at right here, the size of manufacturing for marijuana, that building seems pretty small. Do you plan on manufacturing?
So I'm going to ask what because manufacturing is different for everybody. We're not going to cultivate.
Okay.
Manufacturing here means making infused products. No, it's not. We're not going to be cultivating here.
Okay.
At most would be infused products.
Like making chocolates and making gummies or something.
Yummy.
Okay. I'm sorry, I did come in a couple minutes late.
No, come
Are you
get in
two
here.
partners? Is this how this works? Okay.
Yes.
So it's a blueprint. Opening up a business, I had a blueprint, and for the most part, I stuck to it. I realized what worked, and it was successful. But I had a background before that. So could you please tell us a little bit about what your history is?
Oh, you late.
Oh, you already gave that. If you already gave it, don't bore everybody. It's okay. I'll talk to you out there. Thank you.
That's all good. No. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'll give you
Sorry
a
about that.
You tell me to talk about myself? Obviously. No.
Wait, is there a mirror over here? No, it's behind you. You're gonna have to turn around.
Where is it? Just kidding. Just briefly, one of our partners, Tyrone, has been in the industry for over 10 years, and he's built one of our companies, Albert Einstein's, which actually was written up for one of our products in Forbes magazine. We have this product called El Blunto, which is a luxury cigar. So we are surrounded by people with a lot of experience. I also teach marijuana law at Suffolk, so I've been in the industry for about over a year and a half. I also help other people get into the industry as a consultant, so that's kind of what we do. He has a lot of transferable skills and has been key, like influential to us securing our host agreements and all of the properties that we've secured. One thing I would love to talk to you at one point, if you want, because we're going to be neighbors, hopefully, is actually how this licensing process goes. It's long, it's extensive, and each part can be 3 months. Just securing location, negotiating with the owner could be like 3 to 4 months. You were nice, but it could take a long time. And so even negotiating the host agreement, that takes a long time. Going to the special permitting. So it's an extensive process, and it requires different levels of expertise as you go along. But when it comes time to operating, we do have a team ready to do that under the tutelage of Tyrone Elvis.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take this. I'll read this. Thank you for answering my questions. I have been to dispensaries in Colorado before they exploded the way they exploded, when it was just in the mountains and not necessarily in the city as much. And I know the security is very strict.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't let us in the doorway because we didn't have, at the time, medical cards, and we were just going to snowboard. So they kept us at the doorway. They had pleasant conversations, but I think the security in a building like that could be a benefit to this neighborhood. I mean, you have liquor stores that open that don't even install a camera.
Right.
So you have a medical marijuana or a recreational marijuana store that opens up. You're going to have cameras and security. I think that's going to be a huge benefit to the neighborhood. And I welcome you in your outfit, and I look forward to you being a neighbor.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Any more questions? Yay.
Okay.
When you open it up.
It depends on the city, really. It could be anywhere. So from the moment we're done renovating, I don't know. Hopefully by early mid fall. if all goes well. I'm looking for the assurance in your soul. Just kidding. I used to host a cafe, like a comedy show, and sometimes I have to realize I cannot act like this is my comedy show. What's your question, Randy? Go ahead, miss.
Okay, I'm Lorraine Murray from the Green Island Residence Group, Inc. And I was a little disturbed that I got a notice about this meeting from one of the other property owners. He sent it through email, and then the next morning, or the next day, I got a call from Officer Sean Lovely, neighborhood response team officer, asking if I knew about it.
Right.
And I understand City Hall told you people to talk to Sean Lovely, which I'm going to straighten out Mr. Shea up at City Hall, because practically every neighborhood, if not every neighborhood in the city, has a neighborhood group, and the City Hall knows about it. They know how to get in touch with the officers. So that was a boo-boo. And I have a question. Was this in the Telegram and Gazette?
It was.
Oh, okay. Cause
So
they,
just to talk on the notification too, the notification by the city is a butters list.
yeah.
Robert, you probably got something in the mail. Same with you, Pat, because there was considered a butters, which is 300 feet. And one of the things that I asked you when we met is exactly where you live, because I knew that list, you weren't on that list. So we actually went over and beyond to like reach out to Mr. Lovely, Officer Lovely, and to kind of coordinate with you to let you know, because by following the law, you wouldn't have been notified unless you read the paper.
And I will say that this is something that occurs frequently, because the law says this is what you have to go to your city hall, get a list of abutters that's within the 300 feet. So when we go and we follow the letter of the law, and other people get it, and it appears as if we might be being subversive, but it's not. We're literally just doing what we need to do.
Right.
And
I'm not blaming you. It's blaming City Hall should have. And the way Officer Lovely told me, he mentioned the district city councilors and Shay from the city manager, that there may be opposition. So those people, the city councilor and City Hall, should have directed to call us. But yeah, we found out about it, and that's
Glad you're here, Lorraine.
yeah. Well, okay, and I know this gentleman before he was even born. I go way back with his mother when she was a teenager with her family up on
a teenager.
Yeah, when his mother was a teenager, when his mom was a teenager.
Oh, so she has dirt on you. Your whole family, it seems.
And I know that they've had that police for years and years and years and years and years. Okay. In regards to the community impact, okay, and the gentleman from across the street had said something about with cameras. Are you going to put cameras
everywhere
outside? Okay. Yes. Are you putting cameras in the municipal lot?
Everywhere.
Okay, the big problem, and Officer Lovely can confirm this, the big problem on this street is basically from Honey Farms going up this way, including Burger King and, Burger King and the Gulf Station. That most of the robberies, druggies hang around, around Honey Farms, and that's why a lot of people will not use the ATM over at Bank of America. And they get frequent calls for ODs and things like that between the Gulf Station and Burger King.
Yeah.
Honestly, everything you're listing is what makes this area exciting for us. Because why come into in heaven and make it more heaven? I want to come somewhere where we make a real difference. And I look forward to the day where you sit here and you're like, oh my God, there are no more druggies. I feel safe in Bank of America. How do we do that? I'm not going to say we're going to do it by ourselves, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk to neighbors. Like I think everyone has seen Ulysses enough this week. We're going to come to form a community. Like that's the only way we can ensure that first the money that we're giving is going to go towards ensuring that that place gets cleaned up, so that we can all feel safe in our neighborhoods, and also feel not beyond just say thrive.
And the back needs to be cleaned up too. And hopefully businesses can help. They used to have a community garden, which was very successful over on Hardy Street, and it's nothing but a hellhole. The elderly don't seem to want to garden anymore because it is a hellhole and there's bums hanging around there and needles and burrows and stuff. So the businesses in the surrounding area need to do whatever they can, make calls or something, or if you know the person who owns the building where McGovern's is, to tell them to clean up that hellhole.
You're spot on, because it used to be a community garden.
Yeah,
Now
because I did it for
Right.
years and years and years, and it was getting bad then, and my father went in the nursing home, so I couldn't do it anymore, but it's absolute hellhole. There used to be just
Right.
people whose father lived over at Lafayette Place. Now it's more and more and more, and when the seniors tell me they don't even want to go over there because of the drug paraphernalia and stuff, that's something that the businesses around here have to,
Well,
So
it's
that's-
private,
have
it's
to-
private, it's private now.
yeah,
As far
but
as the
private people, and every single one of these, except for the municipal lot, and then you have Worcester Housing owns that.
Right.
Everything is private, so each property owner should keep it clean
Right.
if, they really care about the neighborhood.
Right, that's true. And one of the things that you're bringing to my attention, so the direct impact program requires us to do certain things. One of the things they talk about is community cleanup. To me, we talked about it briefly, but it's not something, I'm glad that you bring it up because we talked
Well,
about
the
it.
property owner is the one that's responsible.
You're absolutely correct. So
Right.
with
So-
just being a good neighbor,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I mean, and it wasn't like Bob and his mother was still over at McGovern's. I mean, with Bob, you could keep after him and he'd eventually, get to it and stuff. And another thing, and I know Patrick mentioned about Canal District.
Right.
Okay, my big speech. The name of this neighborhood is Green Island. Green Island, you stand at Kelly Square where the gas station is, right? Okay, there used to be a church there called St. Anthony's. This is going way back to the 60s. You had President Johnson and the War on Poverty. They had the forerunner of the Head Start, the Green Island Child Development. Where did they get their name? Well, it was a couple of priests by the name, one was named Harrington, who later became bishop. The other one was Tinsley, who became a Monsignor. And they were standing there. And Catholic Charities was right up at 26 Vernon Street. So they were standing in the island, which is the traditional name of this from way, way back to the Blackstone Canal thing. They looked up the street, and you got green. So you had Green Island. So Green Island for years and years and years, down here, just the island. This Canal District business came because Alan Fletcher and John Splain and Bobby, they wanted water and all this kind of stuff. And it was when Tom Hoover was the city manager and Barbara Haller was the district councilor down here. The canal was designated as a district. Now, a district is a different word from neighborhood. And the district was supposed to be Bridge Street, up where there are churches that they're finally going to do something with, going all the way down to McCune Road to include the visitor center, and over to like Kansas Street and Vernon Street. And the Canal District was supposed to connect the Intermodal Transportation Center, otherwise known as Union Station and the bus station, with the visitor center. And people, and I know some of the businesses think what do they call it? High rent or
High-rise.
upscale or something up there. Well, people down here work very, very hard and stuff, and we don't appreciate everything Canal District because it is a district. So, in regards to community, the city is going to designate $3 million over the next 5 years. They're going to concentrate a lot on first-time home buyers and perking up the properties. Okay, down in Crompton Park, and Crompton Park has been getting money to do renovation down there. But in Crompton Park, there is the old shower house, and the name of the building is called the Green Island Neighborhood Center.
Yes.
It has been closed for almost 3 years because it got flooded out, and it took the city about that long to get everything settled with the insurance and to meet all the requirements because sewerage came up and everything. Okay, they do services to the people in a designated area. And they have a food bank, they do information and referral, job referral, and they have the potential to do credit counseling and job placement, like when Table Talk, they did it through South Worcester, but when Table Talk opened up to try to get people in the neighborhood to get the jobs. So I think that if you're going to do anything for the community, a yearly donation should be given to the Green Island Neighborhood Center, which is under the South Worcester Neighborhood Center on Camp Street. And this Green Island Center will be getting money through South Worcester, from the city with the block grant. But that's the hub of the neighborhood, the hub of the park, and it helps the people. I mean, some people, if they have bills and stuff, sometimes at the end of the month, they're short of money to buy food. They can go down there and get the emergency food, everything from meat to cereal or, cookies and stuff, fresh vegetables. So I think that if you're gonna do anything for the community, you should start right at Crompton Park. Green Island used to be over here,
Right.
and then the city offered it a deal to go down to the park. So it's a city building in the park. Before that, Green Island was over here, I think at 25 Millway Street, and then it really started over at St. Anthony's Church. So I'd like to see a substantial donation that comes more than once to the Green Island Neighborhood Center.
So my question, so a lot of neighborhood community centers don't accept cannabis money? So
Well,
that's
you
something-
can
that's something we'll
check
have to-
with.
That's something we'll have to
yeah.
figure out. That's kind of why a lot of us develop our own programs, because they just won't take it. It was the first time.
I could offer a solution. Even to support the local community, I'm a Cannabis Community Care and Research Network. I live in the neighborhood as well. So Randy and I started our company. We work on education and job, workforce development, and neighborhood community reinvestment development. So we'd be interested in kind of working to kind of collaboratively develop an idea about how, this all could work together, right? Even if the neighborhood association couldn't take it, we could work a way to make sure that, things happen.
I mean, you could always like for the holidays, put the boxes out for the, for the food or.
Absolutely. Different drives, different advertising for local work. We live right up the road and a loft of the road. So, well recognized by the Cannabis Control Commission as well, and we support.
I mean, and the city seems to be supporting these because you have the one on was it Harrison Street? Then they're gonna put one at 74 Grafton Street near Harry Height, and so the city doesn't seem to, unless you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, the city seems to be supportive of this.
Well, there's 15 who's going to do.
Yeah.
That's 20% of the liquor licenses. So there could potentially be more in the future.
Yeah.
So we're just, fortunate enough to be one of the 15.
But the thing is, and we've always had a problem with too many liquor licenses. I guess at one time there was like 21. Now, like with Patrick, they have like the restaurant, which they had way back stuff. But you can only put so many liquor licenses in the neighborhood, and then you're gonna put this when the neighborhood has a business district. There's no bank. You got that ATM over there, which a lot of people don't like to do business with Bank of America because of what they did before with charging high fees and really hitting the elderly. And we need a supermarket.
So I will say with the cash thing, there are a supermarket.
We need a regular supermarket because we used to. Over there was Supreme Market, and then you had Bueller's, you had A&P, Big Nickel. I forgot what the other one was. Park Supermarket. So they've had. Well, and that was the developer's problem because it was a standalone Shaw's instead of having like was it a place where you could rent movies or a Dollar Tree. If they had another thing there, and they said that complain about shoplifting. Well, that's up to the places to do security, and maybe if they punished a few people with the shoplifting, and and stuff. So that was more of a corporate play, and it's funny how that got closed, but then CXX went in there shortly after. So you don't know what went on.
Right back to our deals.
Yeah.
You have a lot of responsibility in this neighborhood. For real. We have a lot of rebuilding to do.
Also,
Yeah.
I see potential. That's what I see is the ability right here to bring a neighborhood up. That's what you're offering, in my opinion. Is with not only with the influx of capital, but the influx of smart people utilizing that money in the proper way with input from the community. And I think as a group, you're on a great path in order to do the things that are right in the community too.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between us and other groups. I mean, you look at the 15 that are being, awarded by the city. A lot of them are from outside the state. I live 5 minutes away from here. I have 2 boys coming up in the city here. So I think that's the biggest difference is that, again, we want to give back because
Your kids have to live here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to correct something. I think even this quote, it's not based on liquor licenses. It's based on package store licenses.
Package stores.
And there are not going to be any more package stores. So the 15 is going to be 15.
Well, that's the minimum, sir. That's the minimum.
No, 15 is not the minimum. It's the maximum. It's based on, so I was in the state legislature. I think I know the law. It's based on package store and population. And that's what it's based on. It's not based on liquor license. But I just want to make that clear to people that
So 20% is still a limit. It's not hard.
I just want you to give all this information. People come back here and say, you misspoke, or you told us something that wasn't right.
Let me give you my number.
It's the maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what you said is the
It's based on package store licenses. One of you said liquor.
It was me.
I've been doing this since 1981.
So when you say it's maximum, meaning that the system.
I'm not here to go. I'm just trying to
No, I'm asking you a
correct
question, but you
one.
sound like you know what you're talking about. You said it's the maximum, right?
I didn't say, no, you said it's the maximum.
So,
I didn't say maximum.
So I think it's based on local regulations or, yeah.
It's in the law. That's in part of it. But again, I should get quiet. I let you know what you
It's
want,
all right.
what you said.
It's all right.
And that's
I don't use my
I
cell
tried to
phone,
correct
so-
and help you. You're taking it the opposite. That's unfortunate. You're on. What you said.
First and foremost, I'm not taking it wrong. I'm listening.
I live up near Providence Street, Worcester Academy, and it's kind of the Green Island service area. I work just over the expressway at the elderly housing in back of the Ascension Church. So I'm always around.
Well, I'm sorry. I truly apologize.
if you don't have any further questions. Thank you so much for that. It's very helpful.
Yeah, don't forget, this is Green Island. Okay, beautiful.
Green Island.
And
Gotta
actually,
correct that.
it's fitting. It's fitting.
Canal District.
Well, it's both.
It's both. It's
Is it both?
Green
Okay, all right, cool.
Island is in the Canal District,
Cool.
but
That's
just
good.
isn't
The
up
Canal
there.
District is in the Green Island.
Well, that's what we like to say.
Right.
We like
I
to
just
say.
went back to work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you again. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
But the thing is, and the city manager mentioned that he said putting the green back into the island. Well, they had a sewer project here that dug up from downtown all the way through where the parking lot is that they're going to take for the park for the ball field and coming down and going through Washington Street and stuff. And we did putting the green back in the, saving the island. And it was in the days of fish year, but it was putting the green back in the island. And I have one which I'll never fit into, but I have a t-shirt that was made right across the street. We used to have the t-shirt place, and it says putting the green back into the island.
We should make a neighborhood t-shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
Put the green back in green.
So we just need this to go,
I like that.
and marijuana is scary, especially to the older people, because it was illegal.
Do you think so? So what do you think will be a good way to introduce this to the older population?
Well, let's just say one of the jokes that's going around, if senior citizens make brownies and they offer it to somebody who's younger, they'll say, well, I think I'll have one because it's legal now.
There you go. So, I mean, just to give you a little bit of background about myself, not to steal
No, get in
thunder,
here.
but I'm a public health doctor by training. And I
Okay.
have a startup company with my business partner, Randy. He does construction,
Yeah.
people in homes, restoration, renovation. So we've been advocating for social justice and research and access to medical cannabis, particularly for seniors and also for veterans. And we run research studies with UMass Dartmouth and Harvard, and just recently located here. So we're interested in working with Humble Bloom to provide really high quality education for clients and consumers, particularly for older populations. But like I said, also for veterans and people that face other particular health conditions. I understand they're applying for a recreational license. However, I know that Humble Bloom is very committed to providing the highest quality of education within the boundaries. Major Bloom, sorry. It's only because it's Friday evening.
No, no worries.
It's been a long week. But Major Bloom is interested in making sure that like the right level of science and education and data and information is out there, you know? And so not only security and everything like that, but for these populations, I'll sit and talk with you. I can tell you all sorts of information about what age 65 and plus women particularly, and also men, are consuming, why edibles amounts for what condition. Everything from ALS to chronic pain to anxiety, depression, PTSD, anything. We've also been studying and researching with, we're well known with the Cannabis Control Commission, but around pediatric illnesses, which I know is a little controversial. But anyway, happy to also just give you some more information to help you guide your own decisions, or be able to make it home too. No offense for their business, but there's lots of ways for people to make their own products at home, and what concentrations you like, and you can also grow at home, which is a very therapeutic option for older populations. And then we're also advocating for how in assisted living facilities and other healthcare institutions, or Section 8 housing or this and that, can have access to consume, right, and consume safely. So that's where we are. That's my little, yeah. I'd love to, to give you any more information if you want. There's a lot of medical benefits that are coming and that are there, that are coming, that we're discovering. A lot less side effects of taking antidepressants or anti-anxieties or prescription medications that tend to cause dizziness and falls and loss of memory and this and that, and lessen your quality of life with your family. And we're finding that cannabis, through different varieties, either edibles or tinctures or a small vape, is really improving quality of life for a variety of populations. Like I said, yesterday we put in legislature to the state to do an amendment for veterans to have access to medical cannabis cards without any cost. So it's that kind of work we're doing, but yeah, we support them, and thank you for supporting them in this community. Stop on the soapbox. Yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions? Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your feedback, and we're definitely going to look into everything that you said. Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah, just before you go, Ulysses and Laura were kind enough to put out some advertisements for anyone who wanted, so feel free to help yourself. And I just want to say thank you again for choosing our district, and we wish you the best. We hope to see this. I think I speak for a lot of people.
Don't do it like this. Hustle, nigga. One take two. Look, Mac 11 on my dresser drawer. Model bitches like Nipsey, what's the weapon for? Niggas try to take, I give them nothing less than war. So it's understood there is no explanation for it. Put the box in concrete to put the safe and floor. Extra thick carpet, that's what we laid it for. Young niggas getting money's what I make it for. Play this out your Range Rover and Mercedes door. I graduated from having haters, now I see it all as fake love, so don't congratulate us. And thank God for my imagination. I seen a vision, I'm in it, and now I'm after greatness. I know that God got me, so I practice patience. Most of the time I look inside and find the answers waiting. I'm trying to change my life, but it's aggravating. Making the same mistakes twice, I'm shackled to Satan. So, let's make a toast to the real niggas. Self-made success, know how it feel, nigga. Now raise your glass to the real women. You know the one who man in jail, but she still with him. Out here on her own, but she deal with it. So I'm gon' tip my ass down, cause I'm feeling ya. I represent that any means necessary. Chopper in the window pane, lifestyle legendary. Been treated a lot of ways, it was never fairly. So we gon' shoot before we march like February. And they don't like it when I rap like that. They'd rather I talk about the crime that's always black on black and say neighborhood of 60 crip in every rap, so they could play my tape in court and try to lock me up for that. But I'm cool. Tell them judges, look, I'm never going back. It's a marathon, nigga, run a lap. 56,000. money in. No motherfucking money out, nigga. Alright, that's it, neighbor.
You think I don't know that? You know what I know? How many times I've been on the other end of that fucking phone? 26 times.
Right, but you just got done saying you and Sonny Black are friends. So,
Donnie,
you know.
I got sent for. In our thing, you get sent for, you go in alive, you come out dead, and it's your best friend that does it.